Unbelievable. If you live in Arizona's 7th District, your congressman is actually calling for a boycott of Arizona.
And I think Arizona deserves not national organizations, conventions, Super Bowls. They need to not be part of doing business with Arizona.
So why would a congressman do such a bonehead thing as to call for a boycott of his own state? Well, apparently he's so upset about a new immigration bill that's going to be signed into law here in Arizona that he went on the Ed Show to complain about it.
Is this a racist law that's on the verge of being signed into law in Arizona? What do you think?
Absolutely. I think once you single out a group of people, and this law is based on appearance, it's based on accent of your language, it's based on those parameters, you can only single out a certain group of people for that criteria.
Well, that's not what the law says at all. In fact, appearing on MSNBC this morning, State Senator Frank Antenori explained what the law actually does. Because he knows.
And the reality is we actually strengthen the civil rights provisions in this legislation to make it one of the most strict civil rights enforcement requirements in the state of Arizona. A law enforcement officer has to have a lawful encounter with someone before they can inquire their immigration status. So, for example, if you get pulled over for speeding, that is a lawful encounter, and then that police officer asks you for your driver's license, and you cannot produce any driver's license or any documentation whatsoever. Now he has what's known as reasonable suspicion. Now he is able, under this law, to inquire whether you're in the country illegally. And that's all this bill does. It just strengthens the enforcement provisions of already federal law that was passed in 1986. The Immigration Reform and Control Act allows officers, any officer, to enforce the law and make sure that people are in this country illegally. That's all it does.
Enforce the laws that are currently on the books. Well, that's just crazy talk. Well, why do we need to enforce the laws that are currently on the books? Aren't people just coming here to, get jobs and do the jobs that Americans aren't willing to do?
Well, I'll give you the best argument. An Arizona judge just convicted a serial child rapist that raped 12 and 13-year-old girls to 165 years in prison. He had been deported 3 times and had numerous encounters with law enforcement officers. And just 2 weeks ago, we had an innocent Arizona rancher and his dog murdered by someone that had crossed into this country illegally, killed Mr. Krentz, and then walked back across the border into Mexico. This is Mr. Gutierrez talked about a civil rights issue. I don't know about any civil rights more important than your own life or the innocence of a child. And we have 17% of the people crossing the border in Arizona are here to commit crimes. Yes, I'll agree the vast majority are coming here looking for work. But how do you separate those that are here looking for a better life and those that are coming here to prey upon the citizens of Arizona?
And oftentimes those that are coming into the United States to look for a better life find something else on their way. Sometimes the coyotes, when they get there, a group of illegals on the United States side of the border, they'll take the women and gang rape them. And then they'll hang their panties and bras on a bush called rape trees. Sometimes the coyotes will kidnap their victims. And Phoenix is now the #2 kidnap capital of the world. Mostly illegal immigrants that are kidnapped by those that brought them across the United States and holding them for ransom. And then, of course, there are the drug wars that go on as well. So rather than enforce the law, Raul Grijalva thinks that we should boycott Arizona.
And I think Arizona deserves not national organizations, conventions, Super Bowls. They need to not be part of doing business with Arizona.
Here's what I think. I think you should go to ruthforaz.com and support Ruth McClung, who is running for Raul Grijalva's seat in Congress. Go to her website, contribute to her campaign, volunteer if you can, and then Raul Grijalva will be free to move out of the state and he can boycott Arizona all he wants.